CBS News is the first to report the number of people in ICE custody is now at a record 66,000. That number is up from 39,000 at the start of Trump's second term. As President Trump ramps up immigration enforcement, the White House has expanded the detention system with holding facilities in some Republican-led states. Let's bring in CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camilo Motoya-Galvez, who's breaking the news on this. So, Camilo, what did you learn?
Well, Vlad, the Trump administration has aggressively expanded immigration enforcement across the country since taking office, and simultaneously it is now running the highest level of detention beds across the country for immigrants facing deportation because they are in the country illegally or because the government has made them deportable after revoking their legal status, as the administration has done for hundreds of thousands of migrants from Venezuela and other crisis-stricken countries. We know that ICE is currently holding about 66,000 people in its sprawling detention system across the country. That is an all-time high. That is also a 70% increase from the start of the second Trump administration. And the administration has been adding more military installations at the Department of Defense and also facilities in Republican-led states like Florida and Louisiana to bolster that detention apparatus. Importantly, the data we obtained, Vlad, shows that about half of the detainees currently in ICE custody do not have a criminal conviction or charge. They are being held solely, Vlad, because of civil immigration violations. The rest of the detainees do have pending charges or convictions. The severity of those crimes is unclear. They could range from serious felonies like murder and rape to misdemeanors or immigration-related crimes like crossing the border illegally multiple times.
And what about folks that have been picked up off the streets or at schools or in restaurants? Where are those folks? Are they being mixed in? When you say that there are some people who are violent criminals at some of these detention centers, what happens to the mom who was taken in, just recently we saw that report in that video?
Well, ICE detainees are typically segregated based on their public safety categories, based on whether or not they have serious criminal records. So the people who are non-criminals but do have civil immigration violations typically are housed in separate facilities or in different sections of the same facility from people who are in the country illegally and also have serious criminal histories. But what is really important to note is that under the second Trump administration, ICE officials and Border Patrol officials have been giving this broad mandate, the sweeping mandate, to go after as many people as possible in the country illegally, Vlad, irrespective of whether or not they have a criminal record. So anyone is fair game right now if they're in the country without legal permission to be arrested and processed for deportation.
Wow. All right. A federal judge, as you know, in Chicago has ruled to keep restrictions on federal agents' use of force there. Break that down for me.
Well, as you know, the administration has launched an unprecedented crackdown on immigration in the Chicago area known as Operation Midway Blitz. And as part of that operation, we have seen protests and clashes between local residents, community leaders, and federal agents at Border Patrol and ICE. Some of those confrontations have involved excessive use of force by federal agents, and the judge in this case has issued a sweeping order and imposing significant limitations on when agents can actually deploy tear gas, other chemical agents, or use physical force to repel protesters, limiting those uses of force to only extraordinary circumstances, like when agents feel like they are being threatened because of somebody's violence. Also, it imposes significant accountability requirements for federal agents. For example, all federal agents in this area now have to wear body cameras and have to have 2 identifiers that are visibly seen by protesters and local community leaders alike.
All right, Camilo Motoya-Galvez, excellent reporting as always, my friend. Appreciate it.